Hello, I'm Dr. Fur. I've had years of experience with chronically substance using homeless veterans and more. I have a PhD and experience, which means I can speak from authority, and I'm licensed by the state. So I know what I'm talking about. Don't go to YouTube and listen to those well-intended people who tell you things that are simply not true. So I'm here to talk about addiction. Addiction is not a diagnosis. You will not find it in the diagnostic manual, even for psychiatrists, biologists. Nobody uses this word as a diagnosis. There's no such thing as addiction. It is not a disease. I don't care what anybody tells you. There's a difference between a syndrome, a disorder, and a disease. A disease has an identifiable cause that's going to affect how your body works. For example, malaria, there's a parasite that gets into you and disrupts your red blood cells. Blood is really important. That's a disease. Tuberculosis is a bacteria. It impairs your ability to breathe. We know what causes it, has a course of treatment. We understand it. It's a disease. A disorder is when things just aren't working like normal. And yeah, if you start using your brain to use chemicals and stuff, things will change. And yeah, there might be a neurological connection to like the sense of survival, but it's all in your head. Meditation also changes the circuits in your brain, but we don't call it a disease or a diagnosis. It's a disorder, and yes, substances can be used in a disordered fashion, but that doesn't make it a disease, and it doesn't make it a diagnosis. A syndrome is just a collection of symptoms. There's a difference, and nobody responsible should be telling you otherwise. There's no impulse control problems that prevent you from doing what you're doing. You have this part of your brain, the central sulcus and the precentral gyrus, that controls what you're doing, and there's evidence that you think about things before you actually do them. So is addiction a moral failure? No. But it is a failure to acknowledge things in an effective manner. And yes, you are responsible for it. You should own it. You should get help to look at the things. This is the hard part. We're asking you to look at the most painful things there are, and nobody wants to do that. See my longer form video for the truth.